So one of the things that is the most interesting about the kind of work that you're doing, Ersin, and like the folks at Team Lab are doing, is that it's very hard to currently pin down how it fits in traditional practice, which is exciting and also makes it just harder to do because we haven't figured it out yet. Like to Ersin's point about Ben Davis's book, like the critique isn't there, the theory isn't quite there yet. We're kind of figuring out how do you look at this stuff. We didn't even talk about like how do you preserve this stuff? Do you preserve this stuff? And I think the challenge for museums is so much of this expertise lies outside of the traditional roles that people who wind up working in museums possess, that it requires a willingness to be very collaborative. Like you have to bring in a lot of partners to make these kinds of things happen. And it's just a thing that is hopefully just going to take time with more and more museums recognizing, okay, we want to do these kinds of things. Therefore, we need to go find people who can do X, Y, and Z. And it's going to require probably to Ersin's point about like the artists needing to let go, it's going to require museums to let go a little bit of the authoritarian impulse of we have to be the ones driving what the message is and to just be comfortable being authoritative, right? Which is a little bit different. You can be authoritative and still stand back and allow people to have an impactful experience, but it does require you to step back a little bit more than we do traditionally. And that's probably going to be the biggest change, particularly for the technological fields, where so many of those people can make so much more money doing anything but museum work. What is the thing that we have to offer that is going to make it worthwhile for those potential collaborators to actually be willing to collaborate? Because as you know, the work is super hard. It can be extremely frustrating and time consuming. So being able to be clear about what is the value of like the work that Marshmallow Laser Feast is doing in a museum context as opposed to a biennial or a gallery context is a thing that I don't think we've articulated yet because I think it is there, right? So, look at the immersive Van Goghs of the world. I look at those and I see like, oh, there's so much opportunity to do more than those people are willing or able to do because of the business model they've set up for themselves. Being able to actually enumerate what those things are that are the opportunities and make that clear to people is probably going to be one of the big challenges for the cultural sector, I would say, for the next few years. And some will get it right and probably a lot won't.
Critique is such an important part of growing, evolving, understanding, but also creating a knowledge, not just for the artists to, get a critique and get better at what they do, but also from an audience point of view, the film critique is important because it's not my full-time job to research the full history of this, the director and the look at the script and its relevance and how it's well executed and the performance of the actor. But if I can trust a professional to come up with some of those critiques, I may or may not agree with them, but at least I can create an idea, an opinion that is very well informed based on that. When it comes to immersive media, we don't have it. We don't have critique that actually allows you to go, right, maybe that Van Gogh experience is actually quite good because of XYZ. It fits in this place in media theory from an art history point of view, but also from an engagement point of view. And then you can make your own judgment to agree or not. But because we are only hearing all the good things, just how incredible and immersive and amazing it was, and sometimes framing a little less nicely probably than that, and just saying, oh, maybe it's a 3-star, it's worth seeing after the 5th thing you see. But there's no way that us as society can get a grip on this fast-moving landscape and understand the media and how it's forming, because audience forming the media and creating demand, and also the media is forming the public. And so that is such an integral and missing part. This knowledge share, these conversations don't happen that often either, right? It's like just being able to access that that knowledge share part, I guess we'll do all together. And finally, preservation. Is it worth preserving? And if the institutions don't take that role to preserve media, immersive media, who's going to do it? Is it always on artists that I have to update every work I do, and I have to work hard to keep up with the technology that's coming up, and because you don't want to go into the art market, which is the private realm protecting and preserving on behalf of you because it's valuable and it will become more valuable tomorrow. Probably there is a role for institutions to come in and untangle this part, and when we detach the monetary value to cultural value of things, we can have a bit more honest conversation about what's worth preserving and why and how that could create a better ecosystem.